there are quite a few things that we need to know, that we need to do in this country. Both sides of politics know in their heart of hearts they need to be done. The question there should be who best and how to, rather than whether to.
I think that's true. I would put in a word of caution in that sometimes the fact that both sides of politics agree on something doesn't necessarily mean that it's a good thing. And my classic example of this is the moment there's a bipartisan agreement that immigration, the rate of immigration, which was already at an extremely high level under the Howard government and under the Hawke-Keating government. It was, check the figures in my book, and we had the fastest pace of immigration of any developed country, any OECD country, with the exception of Israel, because it had a massive influx of people from the former Soviet Union. If you look over the past 25 years, over that 25-year period. So we had a very rapid pace, and then starting late in the Howard government, especially ramped up during the Rudd government, we doubled that pace. And that's created a whole lot of ramifications in terms of weak wages growth, because there's been a massive influx of additional people into the huge addition to supply in the labour market. It's added hugely to housing prices. So it's having all sorts of implications, and yet both sides of politics remain strongly committed to this for reasons that I don't think reflect the national interest, but reflect cold political calculations of particular factions of those parties. So I put that word of caution in. Having said which, it is true that there are various, there are lots of things where there could perfectly happily be sensible debate about things, and sometimes we have arguments when it's entirely unnecessary. You have arguments for the sake of having arguments, and again, to give a good example from recent times, the Labor Party has a very proud history on pension reform, actually. It was the Keating government that started, in terms of altering the age pension to reflect the fact that life expectancy has risen so dramatically. So it would be great if on some of these issues where there is bipartisan appreciation of a problem, you could just have a sensible debate about how best to solve it rather than turning it into a political football.